and it full game for life. But the 45 that I hit you with, them kids face when them shots you rain, that sound you make when that tissue rip. I'll make you pussies make the E40 sound. You send 40 through and knock 40 down, and that scene star send 40 rounds. Stand up, niggas, I said shorty down. These rap niggas bet not try. They got the bulldog and shit right by me. My niggas ain't got no bars. They got bodies, y'all shot cars, we shot bodies. That shot shit is so unlike me. Same spot that shot find me, same spot that not find me, same spot that the cops find me. You want greasy, come slide to the same place where that guap find me. That guap 90, he and boom, he running, he seeing something at the yellow book, and I see him soon. Till then, it's in that phone till they throw that dirt all over me. I'ma rep that, talk, I check that, tap my set all over me. My niggas clap back, get your back clapped off, but that happened over me. You gon' bang for me? Then I ain't worried about shit. I back the whip and then slap the clip in this Mac. Trippin', toe tape, the Sherman, this choppers round and them round. You flippin', you blood and trippin'. These slugs are rippin'. I'm in that folks. What the fuck's the difference? I ain't worried about shit now. Just say the name Grease, nigga. Get a whole brick or a whole clip. I drop them through and I fly back. Through 5 racks on that loud pack. The 4-5 clap is live like that. Welcome to Iraq, this black Mac with them cop killers. That's the only thing that got my back. Got my back, that's the only thing that got my back. When niggas burn me, swung through, city guaranteed to get mine back. Me and the baby, I went to crazy, I'm guaranteed to get mine back. I'm guaranteed to get mine back. If I die tonight, let me taste away this with me. Please don't judge me and don't diss me. If I show up with my semi, if I die tonight, it'll take away the pain. Tell my mama not to cry. She know our love wasn't the same as it used to be. Tell everybody else stop grieving. Motherfuckers still act like I don't know fake love when I see it. If I die tonight.
Peace happening. NFO Merc right here. I'm glad y'all tuned in. Sorry for the delay. I'm trying to get a little better with it. Man, it's a beautiful, beautiful day. Beautiful time to be alive. Hope everybody's doing well, prospering, and in good health. All right. Thank y'all for tuning in. Let's do something for the mind. All right. Good. Today we're gonna talk about I guess the voting. I don't know what we're gonna talk about for sure. The last video, someone asked me a question, right? And they asked me the interesting on hearing my views on police reform and voter restriction, right? Now, me personally, I really don't even get into none of that, the voting, none of that stuff, right? Because for one, this is how it works, all right? The news, which is ran by Hollywood, which has an agenda, right? The news feeds your mind, and the brain is designed to want to believe that which you keep seeing, right? So now you're watching people on TV creating a problem and the solution and telling you that, you know, this is the problem, this is the solution. But when you do the math, the problem they created and the solution they created doesn't alleviate the problem. It kind of like feeds off of one another. Classic example is the war on drugs. The war on drugs is actually a war on people. All right. Now, if you really wanted to combat the war on drugs, you would go a step further and combat the war on poverty. And that would be the system in which got the people reacting towards poverty. Now, drugs is a secondary thing. Anger is a secondary thing. So when you go to anger management, they're not going to deal with the red hot anger. They're going to deal with the stuff that came before that, so that you can have a choice to pick a better emotion instead of anger. You understand? Good. So these people I don't engage. I don't prescribe to the problem, and I don't prescribe to their solution. Right? I tell you, the more you understand about yourself, the less you have to rely on other people. Right? You should stay away from the TV. Abstain from the TV. Anybody at this point in time that took the vaccine is a very, very avid news watcher. Anybody that took the news at this time is believing the hype that the news has been pushing. I don't watch the news. I am completely like unaware of so much of the stuff that's going on because I don't prescribe to that. But instead, I focus on myself. I focus on what it is I want to do. I focus on my loved ones. I focus on the me and how I am integrated into the fabric of the all. If you're just sitting there watching TV, reacting towards their plan, reacting towards their fear, you're just going to become a willing participant in the circus. You understand? Which makes you a clown by legal definition. All right, not my words. Okay, so now, that's like the voting thing. And the best way, all right, so what is the voting thing? The vote does not matter, right? We already seen that time and time again. In case you don't remember, if you're old enough to vote, you should probably also old enough to remember the great GM bailout. I call it the great, I don't know why, but they call it the GM bailout when it was like around the time of the what was it, the Depression? Yeah, the Depression, our last Depression, right, with the economy crash and all that, around 9/11-ish, around that time, around that rebuilding of that time, the market had crashed, right, and big companies needed bailouts, and they asked the public, what should we do? The public voted not to bail them out. It was a very good day in Washington. We celebrated, we ate apple pie, we drunk Kool-Aid, you know, and then the next day, in secrecy, they did the same vote, and we went the other way. And so the government let us think that we okayed it. Yeah, we did it. And then behind the scenes, they did what they want to do. Let me tell you something about the voting. The voting is for the masses. The masses is a letter off of asses. They do not trust you to run the free world. It is just a test to see how much of us is still drinking the Kool-Aid. There is a mathematical equation for a revolution. Once more than 50% of the population becomes aware, then instantaneously a revolution comes about. So all you had to do is get more than half of the people to be like, yo, that's enough, and a new day will come. You understand what I'm saying? So the more that we keep prescribing to voting is called tacit consent to the way all of it works. You know what I mean? Tacit means quietly, to sit quietly, to okay something through silence. Right? Do not protest. Do just going with it. You're just going with it. Like how you go to court and your lawyer represents you and you don't say nothing, and that's it. So that you're tacitly consenting towards everything that's going on, right? And that's why when you're not tacit, whenever that's going on, they say I object. They make a disturbance. They go on record saying I object. I'm not going with that. You understand what I'm saying? Good. So now you understand that. So when you are at that part of the vote of the equation, voting, right? Who are we voting for? We are voting for killers, right? They have guns, weapons of mass destruction. We are voting for killers. We don't have a killer. You understand what I'm saying? So we vote for other killers, right? But the whole thing about that is the killers now, the killers are talking, they talk to each other like, I got a gun, you got a gun. What's stopping me from using the gun? What's stopping you from using the gun? Politics. Policies, treaties, arrangements, agreements, trades. That keeps the killer cool. But once that happens, you instantly wage war on the killer, and it's up and it's stuck till negotiations are met on some aspect of that. You understand what I'm saying? So we as black people don't have a gun. We don't have a killer. So we voting, and in our votes, we're yelling out shit like, why the two killers are sitting there having a very serious discussion about not shooting each other. We pulling on the shirt. Excuse me, Black Lives Matter. Excuse me. Can we get some water? Yeah, got dirty water back here. Yeah. Excuse me. Can you guys education? There's no lights in my park. Hey, what's up with the trash? Can I get a loan? We always asking for the thing that they're holding away from you. They literally holding it away from you. Took it, held it, told you ain't getting it, and now we voting on it. And then when we voting on it, please, can I have it? Please? That's not how it works. Don't work like that, people. So if change will come via vote, it will be the slowest, most tedious, most non-visible movement. You will die in the same condition and before you can see any inkling of a change. If Malcolm X woke up today, we ain't gotta wake up. We could pull up his speeches. We could pull up any Malcolm X speech and play it right now, and it will fit. It will fit the times.
The controlled press, the white press, inflames the white public against Negroes. The police are able to use it to paint the Negro community as a criminal element. The police are able to use the press to make the white public think that 90% or 99% of the Negroes in the Negro community are criminals. And once the white public is convinced that most of the Negro community is a criminal element, then this automatically paves the way for the police to move into the Negro community, exercising Gestapo tactics, stopping any black man who is on the sidewalk, whether he is guilty or whether he is innocent, whether he is well dressed or whether he is poorly dressed, whether he is educated or whether he is dumb, whether he's a Christian or whether he's a Muslim. As long as he is black and a member of the Negro community, the white public thinks that the white policeman is justified in going in there and trampling on that man's civil rights and on that man.
Talks about police brutality. That shit was happening since Malcolm time. It ain't changed. Now this goes into the police restriction, right? Now, it goes into everything goes into essentially the heart of what it was designed to do, and what is designed to do, and what it is being incentivized to do, right? All right. Police reform will come from, as a result, one of the big things they're going to use is the George Floyd thing to put into legislation, because that case was it was America's, it was America's drama baby. You dig what I'm saying? They needed that. George Floyd. Shout out R.I.P. George Floyd, right? So now, what I'm saying now, all right, the George Floyd case. Let's talk about that real quick, because the lawyer for the killer was, when he was trying to rebuttal what the state had brought against them, he said that, he was going about it like he was a trained officer that was trained to pull up to the scene, assess the situation, worry about the crowd while trying to apprehend the suspect, while maintaining the safety of his officers. He's trying to make it seem like this cop was juggling all of this, and how he was able to juggle all that is via training. So at the ending of that particular argument, he says that the cop was doing what he was trained to do. Wow. If he was found innocent, do you understand how those words would have been integrated into all the minds that was rallying behind him, all the other cops, all the other white people that look and feel like he did nothing wrong? You understand what I'm saying to you? So that was crazy to me. The other thing is, when they was breaking down, they did an autopsy on George Floyd, and they was breaking down his anatomy to find out if he really died from the knee on the neck, or did he die from just whatever. So when they did that, they were talking about high blood pressure, and they said it matter-of-factly. It was like and not to mention high blood pressure, that comes with them. You see what I'm saying? High blood pressure. And then they're going to say narrow arteries, right? Which is a result of high blood pressure. Quick sidebar, artificial salt causes that. It's 1/3 salt, 1/3 glass, 1/3 sand. As the salt goes into your body, it cuts up your veins. Your veins replace that cut with a cell that called cholesterol. Now, the more salt you eat, the more cuts you get, the more cholesterol is needed, the more patching up with those little ends of veins, the veins that go to the endings of stuff. So there's thick, like artery veins, and then those veins break into smaller and smaller veins. So those smaller and smaller veins get cut up, and cholesterol has to come and fix those holes. Now it makes it harder for the blood to go through, increasing your blood pressure. So you just say that he has high blood pressure, and then to say he has narrow arteries, you know what I'm saying? You're talking to people who don't know. So now you figure it's a list of things, but really just one thing. Is one thing that's causing that. So the high blood pressure is a result of narrow arteries. That's what's making the pressure high. So what's going on? This is how the devil talks. You understand what I'm saying to you? So now they say that. Now another thing will happen. It seems like I'm all over the place, but you know how I do. around that time, DMX died, Black Rob died, and the Prince Whoopty Whoop died from wherever, right? So now DMX died 50. Black Rob died 51. The Prince of England died at 99 years old. The biggest question is the passive killing, the killing of the silent war that's always on effect on every golden person that's tuned into this channel and who's not yet at this particular moment in time. You understand what I'm saying to you? Black people, your words, golden, my word. You understand? So the diet, the passive war that's been put on us, that's the silent killer that's killing us just from the way our food choice, that's the way we've been programmed to eat, the way we've been programmed to drink, the way we've been programmed to sleep, the way we've been programmed to interact with one another is all byproducts of the silent war. All right? So now they know that, and you know they know that because they're talking about it in the Floyd case. You understand what I'm saying to you? Now, so this is the reason for the passive parenting. Please go back and watch those, take it in, ask me questions on it, ask any question you want on anything. I'm prepared to go to passive parent 9 and to keep up with the, just to keep refining the intel, keep giving you more details and showing you how more proactive you can be as yourself to help that right there will help combat so many different areas of your life. You won't be asking about police reform and voters, whatever, because you will be so in tune with yourself and spirituality that you won't need to look outside of self to get answers. You understand what I'm saying? You will move with a certain type of peace and purpose that even when you encounter the devil, these eyes and these ears, his mouth will hear and speak no evil. You understand what I'm saying? You will have a good day. It's just how it is. So, now, voters restriction, George Floyd. What else I want to talk about? All right. So now, word of the day was tacit consent. All right, you can look that up. I'll put it on the screen for you. Tacit consent. All right, the word tacit, it means to go along with it. Remember today we also learned about iodized salt is artificial salt. The real salt is sea salt. Prescribe to that. If you have any form of artificial salt in your house, throw it out immediately. Spend $1 more that it costs to get the real salt. All right? The body is electric. Salt helps the electric is a conductor of electricity. So you need salt, all right? Just not the artificial salt. Understand? Good. Do not let them lie to you. You understand? Our diet is working against us. Everything we're doing is working against us. So we have to become conscious. We have to become aware, and we have to be awoke. I like that word awoke, right? We throw that word around. Let's give this word some thought, right? So if you were awoke was to mean that you were asleep. And if you was, let's describe sleep: comfortable, warm, unaware, tacitly going along with what's going on. Right? Because if you're upstairs sleeping, downstairs is burning, and you sleeping, steady sleeping, you're okay. You're allowing the fire to grow till you get alerted, and you say, "Oh shit!" and you run downstairs, and either you run away from it because it's too big, or you out the fire because you are awoke. Now, when you become awoke, you gotta move. You gotta work. It might be cold. It doesn't necessarily. It's not as rewarding and comfortable and snuggy and all that as sleep was. Right? So now people say that they're woke and don't want to put no work in. Well, that's like sitting up on the edge of the bed while you smell the smoke and say, yeah, I'm awoke. So what you gonna do? I don't know, let me get myself together. I should go down there and see and do and this and that. And that's where we at right now. We here with the yap, just sitting there on the edge of the bed. There's nobody stepping forward. There's nobody trying to change their own personal way, their own personal desires, their own personal aspirations, their own personal connection with their kids, their own personal connection with the all. And you will be perfect products for the news. You'll be perfect products for the spiritual sapping in which they're doing to us. When I watched that trial, I knew that I was breaking the rule to myself. I said, I don't watch the news. This is very brutal on my spirit to watch them talk so casually with no emotion. How come I'm so emotional? How come my neighbor's emotional? How come everybody we can call each other while it's happening super emotional? And in court, it's all melancholy and flat and just going along with it and talking and this and that and no emotion there. That's sad. Another thing that was consistent with that trial is that they didn't talk about race. Not one time did they bring up race. Race was a motive in that case. Race was a fundamental motive for that case. Why was race not put in there? So you really honestly trying to tell me if George Floyd was the same character, same stature, same everything, just so happened to have white skin? You think that the same officer would have put the knee on his neck for that same amount of time, snuffing his life out in front of other white brethren and a young white girl watching that happen as those white people plead with him to not do that? You think that would have went down like that? You think the face would be the same way? No. Race was a very, very key part of that case. Race was not discussed in that case. That is so insulting to any and every golden child watching that syndication and watching this thing come to justice. You know what I'm saying? For you not to bring race in there. Why was race not in there? Because this is one of the very few times that we, as the people that's outside of the system, is going to be rooting for the system. Trayvon Martin, we was rooting for the system. George Zimmerman had a private counsel. Private counsel is our luxury. We the people go against the district attorney. They break it down into districts, and then that attorney, the lawyer for that district, sees that case. That case, which is the DA, the DA versus me or you, whoever you are, the flesh-breathing you versus the idea of the state. You understand? And they'll put a person there, appoint him to that position of district of the attorney of the district or whatever, lawyer of this district, and he would supersede cases that's in that district, right? And then it would, that tier system goes down from there. So the bigger the case, the bigger the DA gonna come out. You know what I'm saying? He's becoming a celebrity. You understand? So they had, so you understand that, right? So that's why the state cannot bring race up, because then the state will be guilty of harnessing and moving in a racist manner prior to this incident. So the state can't bring race up. If this was two private entities, then one of them would have used the race card because it wouldn't have such a big thing. But because the people, the prosecutors for the state, know where their bread is buttered, they can't. Race is off the table. The judge, who's also awarding of that same state, same rules. The lawyer who has a bar associated in that same state, same rules. So nobody is going to say race. It's imperative for Calvin to not say race, and it should be the state that's saying race. But that's how it goes. So race was not brought up because of that. Which lets you know that if we're not talking about everything in its totality, that is yet to happen again. The people that's out here that's still killing us, the numbers went up. The numbers went up. Just like when your favorite rappers die, we support them and the streams go up. The videos go up. We see that. When something happens to a rapper, the bing, it goes through the truth. It goes through the roof, right? That's us saying, damn bro, damn DMX, we miss you. Damn Black Rob, we miss you. Damn Nipsey, we miss you. Damn Extinction, we miss you. That's us saying that. Damn Biggie, we miss you. Damn Pac, we miss you. Damn Bob Marley, we miss you. This is how we do that. You see what I'm saying? So when the numbers got spiked for one of ours, we showed it in the arena in which that contender was standing in, right? We put on the RP Kobe stuff. We go to the games. We let you know, Kobe, we miss you. So when Calvin got locked up and got found guilty, what did the federal officers do? They turned up. Let him know, we miss you. You understand what I'm saying? So with that said, I say stay off the news, take a walk, go and learn from nature, turn off all this artificial light and meditate with yourself. Ask yourself some questions and listen to the answer that comes into yourself. Trust yourself. Find out. Have a connection with your source, with your creator, with your energy, right? And with that said, I will bid you farewell until next time, which is going to be 2 moons away, right? It's not going to be that long. With that said, like, comment, subscribe, and I'm about to drop my Cash App on there so y'all can, help make this YouTube thing a little more fun on my side. Till then, NFO Merc saying peace. Love y'all. I'm going to get back soon. Listen to this.
how you know when it's me. Make it okay to just live. Open the eyes, let them see what it is. Paradise, lifesaver, see for the kids. When you feel it, you ain't gotta see what it is. That's how you know when it's me. That's how you know when it's me. That's how you know when it's me. That's how you know when it's me.
I suspect it.
When you feel free, that's how you know when it's me. That's how you know when it's me. Go ahead and OD. That's how you know when it's me. 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 Loving the kids till it's over. When you cry, you lend you a shoulder. Know it's harder than quite like they told ya. I won't judge if you can't do it sober. Heard it from somebody older. Life resembles the month of October. Chilly now, but it only gets colder. I just hold ya. I just hold ya. That's how you know when it's me. That's how you know when it's me. When you feel free, that's how you know when it's me. That's how you know when it's me. You go ahead and OD. That's how you know when it's me. That's how you know when it's me. That's how you know when it's me. That's how you know when it's me.